On almost every job we work on, there seems to be a problem with the electrical. More often than not, it's because the homeowners didn't hire a licensed electrical contractor to do the work, or they did the work themselves without permits. Sometimes it's even both. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff on our jobs. This one time, we actually had a contractor come in and of course say, I can do it all. I'll do the structure, I'll do the framing, I'll do the electrical, I'll do the HVAC. They roughed in the electrical before the framing and then pinched all the electrical wires in between the structural beams and the subfloor. Now that could actually sever the electrical wires, pinch them, maybe cause an arcing, cause a fire. Listen, that's not the way you do it. So hire a licensed electrical contractor. In some areas, homeowners are allowed to work on their own electrical, but think about safety first. Who you hire and whether you follow the rules matters a lot. Today, I'm going to be busting some myths about electrical permits in Ontario. Myth number 1, if I have a building permit, I don't need to apply for an electrical permit. That is a big misconception a lot of homeowners have. Having a building permit doesn't include your electrical work. Electrical permits are a whole different ballgame. They ensure your electrical work is up to code and meets the safety standards. So, if you're doing any electrical work, big or small, don't forget the electrical permit. It's important to have your work inspected even if you know electrical. Myth number 2, electrical permits are expensive and take a long time to approve. That's not always the case. The cost and approval time of your electrical permit in Ontario can vary. But think about it this way. The cost of a permit is nothing compared to the cost of a potential electrical hazard. Even approvals can be quicker than you think. In Ontario, you can get an ESA inspector to review it usually as early as the next day. It may add a bit of time initially, but having the correct permits in place can prevent delays later because you had to redo the work due to a failed inspection, which looks at safety and functionality. Like, do you have receptacles in your kitchen? And can they power your appliances? Myth number 3, anyone can apply for an electrical permit for the electrical work done in my home. Actually, in Ontario, the person who did the work is the one who is responsible for filing for a permit. If you did the work, you can apply for the permit directly. However, we recommend you always hire a licensed electrical contractor to do the work. They have the experience to do the job safely. In this case, your contractor should be the one applying for the permit. If your contractor asks you to get the permits, that is a big red flag. This is all about making sure the work is done safely by licensed professionals. Myth number 4, there is no way to know if permits were pulled before I moved into my house. That is false. You can always check. Before buying or moving in, ask the previous homeowners for the permit history. It's your right as a buyer. If you live in Ontario, you can also call the Electrical Safety Authority and ask them for a permit history on the house. Don't skip this step. It could save you from potential headaches down the line. Once you've applied for a permit and the work has passed review, it's important to ask your contractor for a copy of the ESA Certificate of Acceptance. This is important for insurance and if you plan to sell your home. Safety isn't a myth. Electrical permits are meant to protect you from dangers like electrical fires or shocks. Do it right, stay informed, and think about safety first.